I earned my degree online at Arizona State University. I chose to get my degree at ASU because I knew that I'd get a quality education, they were recognized for excellence, and that I would be prepared for the workforce upon graduating. To be associated with ASU, both as a student and alum, it makes me extremely proud, and having experienced the program, I know now that I'm set up for success. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.
Okay, stand by. 3, 2, 1.
Hey, wake up, stupid!
It's the Morning Blitz with Goose, Kelly, and Thick Rick.
Hey, Goose, you. Thank you.
And now, your rock station, your morning show.
People are counting on us. The galaxy is counting on us.
Goose, Kelly, and Thick Rick.
They don't know what the they're doing. You understand that?
On the Blitz.
Hey, welcome to your Monday. A high 85 today, afternoon rain. Likely. Still had some lightning and a few raindrops driving into work this morning.
Yeah.
There was one last night. It was actually right before bed. I was like, excuse me, Nora, I have to go use the restroom. So, but in our place, in the master bedroom, it's got the bath and the shower and the sinks, and then there's a door, and it's just this tiny little closet is where the toilet is by itself. So someone could be like in the shower and the toilet separate. But I'm in this tiny little room, and the biggest crack of thunder came. I was like, oh man, it was insane. Like the whole tiny little room just shook while I was in there. And I had to look and make sure it wasn't me who was doing that. And I was like, no, not me. It's all good. So, how are you, Kelly?
I am great.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Did you have a great weekend?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. Getting ready for Charlie's family comes in for a few days over the 4th of July holiday. We have a big gathering and party, so we have a lot of guests, and it's so much fun. It does take some prep work, so that was happening over the weekend.
Is everyone staying with you? Or?
Many people are, not everyone.
Okay.
A couple are staying at an Airbnb close by, and then the rest are staying with us.
So you got a house full this
We have a house
holiday
full,
weekend.
yeah, sprawled everywhere. Like, you grab a couch.
Right, yeah.
How much money will be spent on fireworks?
I don't know. My brother-in-law is the one who takes care of that. I'll have to ask. Well, that's sort of an awkward question. How much did you spend on all those fireworks?
But you guys do it up, right? A lot of big ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going for
a lot?
Are you going for the good ones?
Yeah. Oh, he goes for the good ones.
Okay.
Yeah. No, he spares no expense.
That's great.
Spares no expense. I do love the Roman candles. It's my favorite. Yeah, we have like a target that we fire Roman candles at in our back.
Oh, okay.
Yard.
Not
Yeah.
each other?
Not each other.
Oh,
No.
come on.
No.
Not drinking enough.
Right. How are you think? You get out this weekend, do some fishing?
I did. I was in a tournament Saturday, man. That wasn't great.
Wasn't great?
No, water was 84 effing degrees. That's
Did
what
anybody do anything?
Yeah, I mean, some people found them. You know, I mean, like a third of the boats didn't even weigh a fish, though. You know, it was tough. But some guys found them. There's always somebody who finds them.
Right.
You know, but yeah, no, we didn't do great.
Is it frowned upon, like if you see someone catching fish, to like slowly toot on over that way?
Yeah, no, you don't do that.
You don't?
No, if you do, man, people are gonna find out real quick, and you're
Really?
gonna hear about it. Yeah,
Okay.
no, that's not cool.
Okay.
You know.
Well, so you just have to stay and fish where there's no fish?
Well, there's a big lake. I mean,
So you just commit. You have to commit to a spot.
Well, you
or
go-
find your own new
yeah, you
spot.
find your own
I
area.
gotcha.
I mean,
Yeah.
believe
Your
me,
own-
many
okay.
times I'm pulling up on a spot I want to fish. I'm like, damn it, guy's on my spot. It's not mine, but
Right.
you know what I mean. And so,
So
I got to go.
but like,
to a different spot.
what's the window? 10 feet?
Well,
20 feet? Like,
usually they'll say not to fish within 50 yards of another boat.
50 yards.
50
Okay.
Now,
So
if
that's
one
just an
guy's
estimation.
Yeah,
Because
well-
if Siri tells, or if my GPS tells me to turn in 50 yards, I have no idea how far
I
that
don't know
is.
what that means.
Well, yeah, there's going to exact. But like if I'm coming down one bank and all of a sudden there's another guy coming down the other bank and we meet and we just go past each other, that's okay. That happens.
Okay,
that's
gotcha.
going to happen. But if a guy's sitting out on like a point and he's fishing it, I'm not going to pull up and near him.
Do
And
you
You're not going to
start-
sidle up.
Well, I think, do you start? You see someone heading that way, so you crank the engine a little bit more, and you're like, I'm going to beat into that spot.
I have had races to a spot.
Oh,
Yes.
have you really?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, welcome to your Monday. Lots to do, lots to talk about, including your chance to go see Adam Sandler's show announced for October 15th at Nationwide Arena. And we've got tickets all week long, so we'll get to that coming up a little bit later this morning around 8:40. Right now, we got a chance for you to win, however, with Blitz Morning Trivia. Thick, what you got for us?
$25 to waterbeds and stuff if you're the first one to text in the correct answer at 800-821-9970. So the Jeff Bezos, Lauren Sanchez wedding went down over the weekend. A lot of big stars were in attendance. One of them was Sydney Sweeney, who's become an A-list actress. Everybody loves her.
Yeah.
And there's now some rumors flying around about a new relationship with her and another guy that she was hanging with all weekend. Who is that guy? I can't even believe it, but he's the first one to tell us who it was at 800-821-9970. We'll hook you up with the gift card.
Let's get that answer for Blitz Morning Trivia.
All right, the question was, at the Jeff Bezos, Lauren Sanchez wedding, Sydney Sweeney seemed to get cozy with this person, and that's what we wanted to know. She was like the most sought-after person to hang out with. Everybody wanted her attention, and they all wanted to talk to her, but one person seemed to monopolize her time. They were seen hanging out at the hotel bar. They danced at the reception till after 2 a.m. They were together, running around Venice together. Tom Brady.
Oh, I thought it was Orlando Bloom.
Well, Tom Brady was, from the report, was the person who got the wedding attention. But then, like 2 days later, she was seen walking around Venice with Orlando Bloom.
She was walking around with both of them.
Okay.
Yeah, but she was at the hotel bar with Brady. They were dancing till after 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, all this guy does is win. It's all Tom Brady does is win.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He's 47. She's 27. And who knows? I don't know. I don't know if they're a thing all of a sudden.
I mean,
there's talk.
Why not? They're both single.
Yeah.
20 years seems like a good chunk of age difference, but age ain't nothing but a number.
Right.
So do your thing. Not to mention, Tom's 47 is like the rest of ours 35.
Well, that's true. I mean, the guy's like a machine
right
over there. Speaking of winning, Derek Liskey from Albany, first one to text in the correct answer, and he's hooked up with $25 to waterbeds and stuff.
I don't know if you've seen this story, but I would say in the next, year, get ready for a bit. Have you seen the movie 127 Hours?
No.
Do you know the story?
I don't.
No, what's that?
A hiker in Utah. It's a real story. He was played by, who's the weird guy? Seth Rogen, Seth Rogen's friend. They did a roast to him. What's his name?
Franco?
Yes, James Franco.
Franco.
Thank you. Yes. So he plays this hiker who slipped and fell during a hike. He got kind of dislodged from his friends and ended up hiking on his own. Slips and falls down a cavern.
Oh, did he eat off his own arm or something?
Well, he cut off his own arm.
Oh.
Yeah. He was stuck for 5 days and ended up having to cut off his own arm and lives and
How is that even possible? I know that's true. It happened.
I'll tell you what.
You don't bleed out?
He had a tourniquet. He made a tourniquet.
Good night.
But the scene, because in the movie, they go through the procedure.
What do you use to cut it off?
Like a pocket knife.
Oh, my God.
Yep. Yeah.
And
that
it had to
shows
take a while.
The will to survive is stronger than you can even imagine.
Even talking about it, my arm is tingling. I don't know what's worse. The initial scene where he has to break his own arm because you can't cut.
Yeah.
So he just had to.
God.
He just had to flick because his arm was wedged. But even worse is in the movie, and I'm sure this had to happen after he gets to the skin. It was the veins that he had to
Okay. All right. That's enough. I can't do anymore. Taking off my headphones.
You're killing me.
Anyways, I tell you all of that to tell you there might be another one coming because of this crazy story out of Lithuania. There is a Lithuanian man by the name of Valdis Belusakis, and he was in Australia for a rapids whitewater rafting trip. He is an avid whitewater rafter. And there's a video of him, and he is on the one of the giant rock formations, trying to get to another small boulder, which will get him into the boat. But there's a small gap there, and he tries to jump the gap, but he slips and falls in between this small gap. And unfortunately, when he falls into the water, his leg gets lodged between two rocks. Oh. And no one can get him out. He's there with his friends. They're doing everything they can to get him out. Thousands of pounds of water pressure are pushing from the rapids into this small little gap that he's stuck in between these two rocks. So after a few hours of trying to pull him out, that's not working. They use the ropes and a pulley system to try and pull him out of there. That's not working. They eventually have to call 911, of course, and get emergency workers out there, who then tried to use airbags to at least give the rocks enough room to separate that he can get his leg out. That's not working. They drill holes into the rocks. That's not working. And this is now approaching up to 24 hours. Oh. Hypothermia is stepping in. He is losing consciousness, and they have no other choice but to call in a doctor who does an underwater amputation on this man's leg. But what's even crazier is the doctor couldn't see anything. He's doing it all by feel, underwater. And
Bubba Wallace here from 2311 Racing. Funny thing about being fast, you end up waiting a lot. First to show up, first in line, then just waiting. Me, I rev up Chumba Casino. With over 200 social casino games, no slow lanes here. Why sit around when you can spin? I'm already racing. Your turn. Play for free at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Somehow, they were able to get this man free, and he is currently thriving and doing okay.
My gosh, that is a miracle.
That is absolutely unbelievable. And of course, you know, this came down to the last resort. This was the only other option they had. It's either we can leave you here,
right?
Good night, and that's game over, or we can attempt this, which may still end up with that result. So I mean, you got to take the chance. Yeah,
you have to take the chance.
Unless you're ready to say goodbye to everyone and just know this is where it ends. You got to take that chance, and somehow it worked. They couldn't use the Velcro tourniquets they usually do because it's underwater, so they had to use ratchet straps. It's an absolutely unbelievable story. I have to assume.
I just thought I was going rafting for the day.
Have to assume they were going to make a movie out of this. Absolutely unbelievable. I mean, again, 127 hours, real story that actually took place, and they made an amazing movie out of it. Gotta assume they're going to do it about this story, too.
Definitely. Oh,
I mean, a huge round of applause for this doctor and this team. Absolutely unbelievable. If you want to see the story, it's floating around in the Australian news, but yeah, the man's name is, hold on, I want to find his name again. Valdis. Yeah, Valdis Beliskakis. Absolutely unbelievable story. Good for you, sir. It's 99.7 The Blitz.
Not so breaking news. The news already broke. We're trying to put it back together.
All right, couple stories for you this morning on a Monday. First story taking us down to Texas. Look, it's hot. We last week it was just nothing but 95 or more the entire week. You know, people get a little bit more agitated when that's hot.
Oh, that humidity's brutal.
And then down in Texas, where it's even hotter.
Yes.
You can only imagine how angry that could make you. An ice cream truck driver in College Station is recovering because he was in the middle of a busy day. I mean, if it's 95 and you own an ice cream truck, you're pretty happy. You're out there making bank until someone thinks that you're a perv. 42-year-old Michael Velasquez told the police that he was watching the driver act suspiciously around some kids. Specifically, he saw kids handing the ice cream driver their phone, and he was putting in some phone numbers, apparently. And so Michael assumed the driver was doing things he shouldn't be doing around these children. So he ran up, punched him multiple times, threatened to shoot him, and then took his phone. Good Samaritan, protecting the children. Except as it turns out, the driver was not a perv. It happens to be 2025, and he takes Apple Pay.
Oh, my gosh.
So all he was doing was taking the phone from the kids that were trying to pay for their ice cream with Apple Pay or Cash App or any of the other ways you can pay digitally now. Police determined he wasn't doing anything illegal or inappropriate, and now Michael is facing charges for robbery and unlawful possession of a firearm. Like, I know we've all kind of now grown up in the age where if it's like see something, say something. There have been a handful of times where good Samaritans have stepped up and done their thing. But you got to be certain of what's going on. You can't just insert yourself into every situation. And that's kind of the problem we've gotten into nowadays.
Yeah.
Where people are like, I'm going to be the saving grace. I'm going to be the hero. Yeah, but you got to make sure something's going wrong before you beat up innocent people who are just trying to run an ice cream shop and give kids a sweet treat.
It's like we all like to make up our own stories about what we're seeing. I don't know what's going on, but let me tell you what I know is going on.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Second story takes us over the ocean to Thailand, where a guy in Thailand just shared a Facebook photo of his wife because they were enjoying a nice meal when all of a sudden she felt a pain in her throat. And that is because she's like, I'm pretty sure that bite of fish I just had a bone in it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And she knew something wasn't right. So she went to the ER. They couldn't see anything on the x-rays, so they sent her home. Nothing there. Might have dislodged. Might have just done its natural thing. But unfortunately, 2 days later, she still had a sore throat. And she thought maybe it's just residual pain from whatever may have happened. But no, in fact, 2 weeks goes by, and she's still having a pain. And not only that, but she noticed like her neck was swollen. So she goes back to the ER thinking something's not right. I could have like a thyroid problem or something's happening on the side of my neck. Second round of x-rays, nothing there. They didn't know what to do. So they gave her some pain meds and sent her home. And it wasn't until the next day when she went to put the pain patch on her neck where it was sore so they could absorb, the absorption of medicine through her neck. When she pushed the pad onto her neck, and that's when she felt a little, and looked down, and there's the fish bone coming out from the inside of her neck.
Fishy, fishy.
The fish bone came from the inside and poked outwards.
Did she pull it out?
No. She did go back to the hospital, and they did yank the bone out, and the doctors say they have never seen anything like it. Vic, you saw the photo, didn't you?
The bone's like an inch long.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you need new x-ray machines.
Right.
It's absolutely unbelievable. I want to see if I can... Oh, it's not.
I guess it only
loading.
picks up human bones.
I don't know why it wouldn't, because it's there. You can see it. It's protruding right out of her neck. That reminds me of the story from a couple years ago where when they started really pushing, don't buy the metal bristle grill cleaners. Because that one woman who got it in her jawbone, that one little tiny bristle was in her jawbone from the burger or something. Oh. Yeah. Thankfully,
man.
She's going to be okay. She says she's probably going to avoid fish for a while, which I would do the exact same thing. Something like
they
that.
caught you a delicious bass.
No. Something like that happens, that puts you off the food for a while.
Gosh.
That's your not so breaking news, 99.7 The Blitz. All right, we haven't done this in a while, but Fit came up with such a good idea. I think we have to do it. We're going to jump back into the blind top 5. This is where we have a category with 5 options. And we're going to rank them from favorite to least favorite, 1 through 5. However, the problem is we're only giving them one at a time, so we don't know what's coming up next. So our top 5 may get all screwed up because we don't know what's next on the list. But Thick had such a good one, I think we have to do it. So Thick, what is today's blind top 5?
Superpowers.
I like this.
Yeah.
I like this.
Everybody
Okay.
wants a superhero superpower,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Absolutely. I'm trying to think, did you go with the generics or do you have some creative ones in there? That's what I'm wondering.
Well, I mean, I think every superhero at least has had one of these.
Okay.
Some superhero has had one of them.
Okay. All right.
I mean, how else it has to be a superpower, right?
That's true. All right, blind top 5. We will not know what's next. Let's see how we compare. Thick, whenever you're ready.
All right, we'll start with invisibility. Fantastic Four. The Invisible Woman.
Invisible Woman, yeah.
Okay.
Hold on, wait. Okay. All right.
Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
You got to go? Mind control.
Mind control.
Yeah.
Mind control.
Being able to control other people's minds.
You're not talking about moving things. You're talking about telekinesis, you're talking about telepathy, not telekinesis.
Yeah, being able to control, like I can control your mind.
Right.
All right. You got it?
Okay.
Yep.
Teleportation. One of my all-time favorite superpowers.
Okay. Teleportation.
All right. You guys got that one?
Uh-huh.
Laser eyes.
Laser eyes.
What does a laser eye do for you?
Superman shoots the laser beams out of his eyes.
What does it do? Blow people up?
Well, it's a laser. It can.
But you burn through things.
Yeah.
It can cut down trees without a chainsaw.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could, depending on how much actual control you have, you could heat up your cup of coffee, reheat your cup of coffee.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was in some movie.
Probably was.
Somebody did that. All right, and finally, super intelligence.
Ah, crap.
God bless it.
Didn't go the way you'd
I
wanted.
got bones.
No.
I got bones. All right. Kelly, I'd love to see how we compare on this. For superpowers, blind top 5, how did you rank them?
Well, I'm okay with everything except the laser eyes. I put it number 3. I should have put it at number 5. Who cares? I want that super intelligence, and that wound up at number 5 for me.
Okay.
Oh.
Number 1, invisibility. I'm very happy with that. That is my number 1. I would love that power.
That would be your number 1 power.
Number 1, invisibility. Are you kidding? Do you know how many rooms I want to be into knowing what's going on?
I was going to say, are you using this for nefarious actions?
She just wants the tea on everything.
Yeah, I just need the gossip. I'm not trying to do anything. Number 2, teleportation. Very happy with that spot at number 2. Number 3, laser eyes. Hate it. I hate laser eyes. Why did I put it at number 3? I hate it. Number 4, mind control. I don't want to control anyone's minds. Those could have been.
Riley Herbst from 2311 Racing here. And you know what grinds my gears? Waiting for coffee. But instead of counting frappes and lattes, I fire up Chumba Casino. No apps, no fuss, just fun social casino games to pass the time. By the time my coffee's ready,
Order for Riley.
I've already taken a few victory laps. Next time you're stuck waiting, make it entertaining. Play for free at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
That could have tied for number 5 with laser eyes to me. Super intelligence number 5. Very disappointed in
you want
that
super
placement.
intelligence higher?
Super intelligence at number 3.
Okay. Well, I was very happy with the way some things turned out and very upset with the way number 1 turned out because I left the number 1 spot open. I thought maybe you were going to put flying in there, so I was waiting for the number 1 spot, but I ended up with number 1 in super intelligence, which if you think about it, isn't terrible because you could use it for some, you could become a billionaire. You could make a lot of money if you had super intelligence, for sure. Number 2, mind control. I probably would have put that at 3, but I would like to control people's minds. I think you could have a lot of fun with that. Number 3, invisibility. I'm okay with that. Number 4, I wish was higher now. I wish teleportation was higher because you didn't put flying in there. But to be able to go anywhere.
Oh, love it.
In just a blink of an eye.
Movie Jumper.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Just anywhere you want to be.
And I don't know, because between flying and teleportation, how fast can you fly? How fast are you getting to where you want to go? But the scenic route versus just teleporting and just being there instantly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'd rather fly, though. I think that'd be more fun.
I don't like flying.
You don't like flying? But if you knew you weren't going to fall, like, how cool would that be?
What about the bugs in your teeth and stuff?
I guess there's that. Yeah, I guess there is that. And then finally, I got lucky. Laser eyes at number 5. That's where I would put laser eyes.
That's where I had it.
Laser eyes sucks.
Who wants laser eyes?
It just means I can
Nobody.
destroy stuff, and that's not really doing me any good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless I'm fighting enemies.
Yeah, laser eyes does nothing for you in like a day-to-day unless there are other super villains you need to get rid of.
Super intelligence, I had at 4. It would be number 1 if there was no true, like, mystical superpower, you know? Because other people, a normal human can have super intelligence.
Yes.
You know? Invisibility at 3, I'm with, obviously, Kelly, that's the most fun. Invisibility would be the absolute most fun of the 5.
Invisibility over mind control? I think mind control would be the most fun.
Teleportation at number 2, the endless possibilities to what you can do and see and how quick you can get there. But I have mind control number 1 because then you pretty much rule the world and nobody knows it.
That's true.
I mean, I can become president and then make anybody do anything. You know what I mean?
I'm very shocked you didn't have my favorite superpower on there, which is if I could have any superpower, it would be to make. I guess mind control would kind of do this, but it's the ability to make anybody poop their pants whenever I want.
What? That's what you want to do?
You could get anything you ever wanted. I mean, they couldn't throw you in jail for armed robbery because you're not holding a gun, but you threatened someone. But give me the money, and then
you're gonna go in your pants.
Yep. And then if they don't, if they're like, yeah, whatever. You just give them like a little. You give them like there's a shirt, like there's a little one, and they're like, oh my god, you're not kidding.
I don't even know. Is that diabolical? I don't even know what to call it. I mean, it's like I can't be mad at you.
Oh, your husband is just like blah 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 in your face, and you're like, I'm done with it. And you just make him, and he's got to go. He's got to leave. Yeah. That one talker at work just won't leave you alone. Jab, 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 and you just make,
Don't you ever wonder what it's like to be inside Goose's head?
No.
And that's some of the Blitz.
And now, all right, I'm listening. The 3 things you need to know before you go.
2 people injured after being hit by lightning on the soccer field at Northland High School last night. Medics were called to the school at about 7:30 p.m. 2 people taken to Riverside, both female. At least one is a teenager. One person in critical condition, the other unstable. I can't imagine what that feels like.
No, you can't.
And I think maybe it's like the one person takes the hit and the person near them gets the residual.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen videos of even
soccer players or whatever.
Right? Yeah, the whole field, like 6 or 7 people in the vicinity.
And they go down.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So I don't know if that's what happened, but boy, I hope they both pull through here. 2 firefighters dead. Another is injured after being ambushed while responding to a brush fire in Idaho. Authorities say they believe the suspect started the brush fire in Coeur d'Alene, then hid in the woods. And when firefighters responded to the growing fire, the man started shooting at them, killing 2 firefighters, injuring 1. About 300 police officers responded to the scene and exchanged gunfire with the suspect. After locating the shooter's cell phone signal, they were able to find him. He was dead with a gun nearby. The man's name has not been released. Hatebreed guitarist Wayne Lozanak has offered an update on his health less than 2 weeks after he left the band's European tour following a brain tumor diagnosis. On Saturday, Wayne posted on Instagram that he's feeling fine. He's back in the U.S. after more testing. It's been confirmed that he does have a tumor in his head. It is benign, but it needs to come out because it's growing. He is seeing a neurosurgeon this week and will schedule surgery. Says he's looking forward to getting back on the road once it's safe to do so. The U.S. leg of their tour starts in 8 days. They don't have any Ohio dates, but they've got a fill-in guitarist while Wayne gets his brain tumor removed.
Weren't they at Sonic? I thought they were at Sonic.
Those are your 3 things.
We all know that heartbreak is just, it's a part of life. At some point, probably a handful of times, you're going to suffer through heartbreak at some point in your life. And this weekend, unfortunately, a lot of heartbreak. I'm gonna Quentin Tarantino this thing and kind of move backwards through the weekend because of the level of heartbreak that took it. It started with unbelievable heartbreak and a couple more situations. But I'm going to start with the least amount of heartbreak, which was on Saturday. And that is because we got in, Nora and I got in an early round of golf, and we knew we were going to finish up about 12:30, and it was hot and humid, and we found out that to go to the Hilliard pool, which we were so excited to do after Thick filled us in, you actually have to fill out paperwork and prove your residency, and it takes like 3 days, and you can't just show up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can't just show up to... It's the city, but you have to prove that you live in the city, so you have to go and do the process first.
Just bring a bill or something, and then they make you fill out paperwork, and you have to wait?
Yes.
Oh, that's...
Yeah, Chicago is like 3 days.
They're strict.
I haven't been there in a long time. Yeah. I didn't even realize. But, yeah, and I never went through that because I was a kid growing up in Hilliard.
Yeah, but we did find out, however, there is a place you can go right then and there to get your water needs filled in. So we went up to Zumbizi Bay.
Zumbizi Bay.
Yeah, Zumbizi Bay. Yeah. Lazy River. They have an adults-only lazy river with a walk-up bar.
Yeah.
Pretty
amazing.
Nice.
Yeah. Pretty great.
Yeah.
Until you pay $50 a person to get in, and you're there for 90 minutes, and the thunderstorm rolls in, and they kick everyone out.
Oh, you didn't get a refund or anything.
No.
Oh, that hurts.
No.
They didn't give you like a come back another time?
No.
No kidding.
Total heartbreak.
No voucher or anything?
No. Although I will say this, I was a little mad at them because as everyone was leaving through this thunderstorm, they had one exit. And this line was massive. And I ended up walking out the entrance. So like the exit is over there. And I'm like, this is basically the downpouring in a lightning storm. And you have to like open up the other ways.
Exactly. They even do that on a freeway when you're trying to evacuate an island in Florida.
Couldn't believe that. Heartbreak number 2 was Friday night as Nora was getting home from Detroit. We had planned a date night, and I was getting ready, but I knew first things first was it was shaving time.
Okay.
It had been a week. I had to get the clippers out. I had to shave my head, trim my beard, do all the things that I do, and I do that in the bathroom, obviously, with the ceramic floors, so it's easy to wipe up the hair. And I also do it sans clothing because I don't want hair all everywhere. So I'm standing there in the mirror in my birthday suit, shaving my things. And I hear Nora coming up the stairs. I'm like, no big deal.
Yeah.
She comes around the corner, enters the bedroom with the door to the bathroom, sees me. First thing she does is goes, excuse me, what are you laughing at? She goes, well, I just wasn't expecting it. I was like, no. The last thing you want from your significant other is for them to come around the corner, see you naked, and the first thing you do is laugh. She goes, no, it was just the situation of not expecting to see. And I'm like, no. Don't try and cover your tracks now. You looked at me naked and started laughing.
Now, was she seeing you from behind or seeing you from...
No, from the front. Exactly. Like, that's heartbreaking.
No, I got you.
It's absolutely heartbreaking.
But you did know she was coming. She did not know that you were standing there naked.
Correct.
Okay, so you got to give her a little leeway.
When I heard her enter, I even sucked in my gut a little bit, so I tried to look a little better. And no, she still ends up laughing. I stood up straighter so I wasn't slouching. I presented a little bit. I kind of thrusted the hips forward just a tiny bit. You know how you try and give it that little... I think
extra?
Yeah, I think I even gave it like a simple tug or two just to make it like a little... Then I still got to laugh. However, the biggest heartbreak did come at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon after I had to ask Thick a question about something. Oh, I know what it was. My best friend Scott, who is a truck driver and loves to listen to our show on the podcast, had mentioned he had caught up to all the episodes during this week, and he was like, "Tell Thick that the Friday's podcast isn't up there." He was very excited to listen to the show, and you had responded that I didn't hear you, but you had mentioned.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Mentioned it because we had a new system and there was it had to be rebooted, it was a turn it off, turn it back on kind of thing, and so it wasn't loaded into the system. And I said, oh, okay, no problem. And then about 15 minutes later, I get a text from Thick, and it says, hey, you want to go fishing tomorrow? And I was like, oh, yeah, there's nothing going on. My tea time wasn't until later in the day at that point, and I was like, oh, you know what?
Yeah.
I actually think I get to get out and fish for the first time on his professional bass boat. Have some beverages and just chill on the lake. But before I can even respond to the message of can you fish tomorrow? Sorry, wrong text. Didn't mean to text you. Man!
Is there a hole I can crawl into right now?
Oh.
It took 30 seconds for Thick to just yank the invite from underneath my feet.
God.
Utter heartbreak. Utter heartbreak.
Who did you mean to text?
Dinos. My buddy Dinos. Well, it was a tournament. It was 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. Were you ready to do that? Go fish from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m.?
No. You cannot follow up with, were you prepared to do that? That had nothing to do with it.
I'm sorry. You never mistexted somebody on accident?
Not like that.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Not an invite. Not an invite like that.
Oh, God, I'm so sorry.
To invite and disinvite someone all within 30 seconds, knowing I've never been, knowing he said multiple times he was going to invite me on his boat to go fishing.
And we are going.
I finally get the first invite.
And we're going next week.
Okay. Get the first invite. And he's like,
God, you're killing me. And you know what, Kelly? We had a get-together here at the station Friday afternoon, which was after that text.
Yeah.
He never said a word to me about it, but the whole time he's planning this.
Oh, I knew. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because it was basically like a go F yourself.
100%. 100%. 100%. I'm thinking about fishing. Not with you, but I'm thinking about fishing. It's cool. I'll get over it. 99.7 The Blitz. It's Monday. For a lot of people, it's a short week, which is nice. Yeah. Rolling into that holiday weekend. Woo. But a lot of times, if you get that extra day off, that means you just got to put in some extra hours or work a little harder because you want to get everything done before the weekend arrives. So it is going to be a busy week for a lot of us, including myself. So I wanted to make sure I was fully rested, ready to go for the week. Took a little bit of extra gummy last night, but unfortunately didn't fall asleep right away, so that gummy kind of kicked in. Got my mind working, so I wanted to share some of the thoughts I had last night before I dozed off to La La Land. I thought about this. There are no conspiracy theories about other planets being flat.
Oh, that's so true.
Are we just the lucky ones? Are we the only flat ones out there? Just don't understand. This crossed my mind. The spelling of short is longer than the spelling of long.
True.
How about that?
Yeah. I mean, come on. What's the, there's an is it onomatopoeia? That's when the word is what it sounds like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. This crossed my mind before I was falling asleep, and I know this has become a big thing over the past week. We've talked about this a couple times. You'll see warnings on almost every website, but you got to update your password. Was it 16 billion passwords got hacked or something like that? Family, by far, is the most important thing in life, except the forgot password button. Could you imagine life without the forgot password button?
No.
I don't think there's a time I try and log into my Apple account where I don't have to change the password. I never, because here's the problem with Apple, is you can't reuse a password for a year.
Yeah.
So you have to constantly come up with a new combination.
Or even something that's similar. They'll be like, that one is too similar than the one you just used.
Yes.
It's like you want to add just an exclamation point at the end.
That's exactly it.
Of course, that's what we do. Or capitalize a letter.
I'm literally at the point now where I'm using my typical password, but it's like I've gone from the last letter being 1 to the last letter being 2 to the last letter being 3. Not letter, number.
Yes.
Just that's the only way I can remember. Thought about this before I fell asleep. Take this into account as you're working hard this week. If you want to shop without looking at the price tag, you got to work without looking at the clock.
Oh.
That was kind of my mental motivation to myself last night.
Okay.
I thought about this before dozing off. One day, pumpkin spice is going to be an old person's flavor like black licorice or butterscotch is nowadays.
I feel personally attacked by that.
I knew it. I'm sitting like I'm not saying a word.
Although I hate butterscotch, but I do love a Werther's.
Right? Yep. Mm-hmm. This one crossed my mind last night. We can't be absolutely sure if it was the farmer or the dog that was named Bingo.
There was a farmer had a dog, and Bingo was his name. You're right. They do not specify.
Stop. You can't do that to me.
I'm telling you.
My
personal guess is it's the dog. But
yeah,
you can't be certain.
Yeah, it could be like Bingo Jefferson.
It could be.
Yeah.
That's the way he grew up. Everyone just calls him Bingo. Absolutely.
Yeah, my whole childhood was a lie.
And finally, this is the last thing I thought about before dozing off last night. There is a fine line between not enough salad dressing and too much salad dressing.
Yes, you can really ruin a salad by one extra tiny
Yeah.
pour.
I mean,
we're
talking droplets.
You can also ruin it without enough.
Yes. Just dry. Are you just chewing on nothing but iceberg lettuce and raw onions with no dressing?
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, you've got
so
like a gumbo, vegetable gumbo going on.
Would you rather have too much or not enough?
Not enough.
Not enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I pour salt on it. If there's not enough, I just pour
I'll
extra
get that
salt
flavor in
just
there.
for some flavor.
Just something.
Yeah.
There you go. That's my gummy thoughts for a Monday morning, 99.7 The Blitz. We touched on this on Thursday or Friday of last week, but it's kind of blown up over the past week or so on social media with a lot of parents kind of putting out videos on TikTok and Reels and things like that, because apparently the trend that's kind of taking off this summer is the 90s kids summer.
Okay.
And basically it's parents saying, look, this year, this summer, you're doing what we did. Get outside, go play, we'll see you when it's dark. And that's it. And whatever that may mean to you. And I'm kind of curious kind of what it meant to each of us when it was summertime and you had to keep yourself busy. Because I assume we all kind of had that get outside,
Yes,
go play.
definitely.
Don't come back in. Do you remember, like, the one big thing you guys did growing up, Kelly?
We went to the pool, a neighborhood pool, that or bike riding. Those two things were our main activities.
Okay, well, it's interesting to say, because it brings up a second question. Did we all do the exact same thing? Bike ride and pool? Because that was going to be my answer.
Okay.
Was the same thing. I miss taking a piece of wood and leaning it on a milk crate, which just sat in the middle of the street. And then you just took your bike and right over the milk crate. And then you grow some cojones, you put two milk crates on top of each other. And that was, you could get some airtime for sure.
We used to practice riding wheelies. So you get real good riding wheelies on your bike.
Yeah.
That was a big practice.
We did dirt bikes, though. A lot.
Okay.
Yeah. 10 Pen Alley over there in Hilliard. Now it's all like condos or whatever behind it. Used to be a big ass dirt bike track. You know, so we were
gasoline powered dirt bikes.
Yeah.
Never did that.
Yeah, that's kind of a chandelier type
That is
activity
very much,
for the rich kids.
Seriously, rich kids. Oh
Get
my
the
God.
whole outfit.
Right.
There's no
The
outfit.
bike itself.
I didn't even use a helmet.
Kids' version of a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Suzuki RM80.
What came first, the motorbike, or the chandelier?
The chandelier.
Okay.
Yeah, I was already in the house. So, but the pool was big. Yeah, the pool was very big. That and fishing, man. I needed a couple bucks for food for the day.
Right.
You know, because we were talking last week about how parents were already ready for their kids to go back.
Yes.
And for me, they didn't have to. I was gone. They didn't have to worry. They knew I was leaving at 9 a.m. and I wouldn't be home till 10 p.m. You know, so they didn't have to. I wasn't causing them any grief.
And that's the other thing too is I think there may have been a time or two. It was like, why don't you go out and play, sort of thing, like getting in your parents' hair. But most of the time, wanted to be out there.
Yeah.
Right.
What time are we all meeting up so we can have the seven of us go, bike riding together to wherever we're going, or all hit the pool at the same time.
I remember there being a time when it was too early to knock on your friend's door.
Yes.
Like, that's how much we were wanting to get out.
Yep. Absolutely.
It's like, honey, it's a little too early. Come back in an hour.
800-821-9970. Call or text the same number now. 800-821-9970. What was that 90s summer for you or 80s summer for you? Now, I will say this. There are some quote-unquote experts that have jumped online saying that this is great for some families. However, don't force it. Especially, sometimes in the report it said sometimes bigger cities could be harder, but I don't think so. You want to make sure you're in a safe area.
Yeah.
Bubba Wallace here from 2311 Racing. Funny thing about being fast, You end up waiting a lot. First to show up, first in line, then just waiting. Me, I rev up Chumba Casino. With over 200 social casino games, no slow lanes here. Why sit around when you can spin? I'm already racing. Your turn. Play for free at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
But
even encouraging like some form of organized activity. Like we used to get free tennis lessons at our neighborhood like park. They would offer free tennis lessons for kids. I don't know if they still do stuff like that because I knew they do have summer camps and they charge and they're not free. But or just go into the rec center.
The rec center,
yes. To the rec center and jump on a trampoline for 30 minutes. You know, I mean, just get a little exercise every day.
Now they do say it is a little different. Because kids nowadays being saturated with technology for 9 months out of the year to then switch to like unplugging and outdoor freedom could cause a little more anxiety. So you got to make sure that you don't want to force your kids to do it, but you might want to nudge them. 800-821-9970. What was that summer activity? Blitz, hi, who's this?
Good morning, it's Tristan again.
Tristan, what was that 90s summer or 80s summer like for you? What was that one activity you guys always did?
Basically, Mom would just tell us, you guys got 3 acres out in the country to play in. Get outside, doors locked. If you're thirsty, here's the garden hose.
There's the garden hose. Yeah, absolutely.
You would always say, I'll let you know when lunch is ready. After lunch, get your butt back outside.
Right. So, what did you guys do on that 3 acres out there?
A whole bunch of everything, but the 2 things that she hated. We used to use our metal detectors, and we would rip holes all through the yard.
Yes. Hey, you never know what you're going to find.
Oh, no. We found like a 6-foot chain one time, and she was not thrilled about that trench.
Yo, man, right. You got to dig up the whole thing. That's great, Tristan. Thank you so much for the call. Blitz, good morning. Hi, who's this?
It's John.
John, what's that one thing that really took over your summers, that 80s summer, or that 90s kid summer you had?
We had a set of woods right up the street from our house, and we would go out in there and explore, find snakes and frogs, and build little stick forts.
Yeah, the building of the tree fort.
Oh,
yes. That was always a big one. And most likely not very safe at all. We didn't have
absolutely not.
We didn't have engineering degrees or schematics. You just got to put the wood up there and
it wasn't
see
structurally sound.
No, not at all. Hey, appreciate the call, man. Thank you so much. Have a great Monday.
Tasha grew up in the country, said her and her brother played in the woods, baled hay, swam in the creek, swang from tree vines, built forts, and rode their bikes.
Do you mean crick?
The crick.
I'm a little. See, I was a little bit more city than that. I didn't have to do the crick or the crawdads or anything like that.
Creek,
I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah, I was a city kid too. I grew up right in the heart of Columbus, North End. No crick.
Yeah, I was running through the creek all the time.
No.
I don't know if I could do that. 800-821-9970. Call or text the same number. I'd love to hear what was that 80s or 90s summer like for you. What was that favorite activity? You get into it. We'll get into it in about 3.5 minutes. 99.7 The Blitz. A lot of parents jumping online recently talking about the summer trend, going back to that 90s kids weekend. They're taking their kids and just putting them outside. Go have fun. Go be with your friends. Be out in the sun. Don't come home until the sun comes down. That's something we all grew up with. And for the most part, we all kind of had the same thing. You get on your bike, you get your friends together, and you're going exploring somewhere. The city pool. A lot of people are texting in now. Catching crawdads was always a go-to for me in the creeks from 7277. I can't admit that would not be my summer.
Why?
And, I mean, don't get me wrong. If I grew up in that area, that's obviously what you do. I'm just kind of thankful I didn't grow up in that area because...
Yeah, that's not my thing either. Like, definitely a city kid, but man, do you hear people with great memories of catching crawdads and things like that.
Am I going to have to bait your hook next week?
Yeah, maybe.
Because I'm getting crawdads.
Yeah. Well, you just shove them right through.
Just one hook, one time in the tail.
One time in the
bottom
tail?
of the tail, yeah.
Okay.
Chris Drake said fishing and swimming in the creek, sometimes we would get out and have a leech or two on us.
Yeah, see, I don't want that.
I've had that. Just pull them off. Ain't no big deal.
What was that, Stand By Me? Where they get out of the water and they were just covered.
I never had them like that. That was insane. It was rare. Once in a while you'd get one, but it was no big deal.
How about this? Jeff Smith says, we had an actual fort in the woods. My friend's dad was ex-military and was a contractor at the time, so we had actual supplies, and he left us to our devices to build it. We used to get into wars with the kids across the creek who had a crappy little stick fort.
Yeah!
We used sticks, rocks, M80s, and bottle rockets shot at.
Man!
Some of those kids got effed up. Our parents had no idea what we were doing.
Oh, fireworks battles were huge when I was a kid.
That's insane.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
like Kelly
God.
talking about with the Roman candles. We're like, we're having battles, man.
Mandy said they used to go roller skating Friday and Saturday nights at Laces. It's now a Walmart. We used to go to United Skates of America. Oh, the roller rink was fun.
United Skates of America.
They're still here. They still have those.
Are they
Yeah.
really?
Yeah. We should have a big skating party.
Hopping on the train, Richie says, hopping on the train, riding to the next town over. Really?
Wow.
And hop on the train back home. Now, here's the question, though. Did you run and jump onto the train, or did you actually buy, like, a ticket? Because I would love to train hop.
Hopping on the train.
Yeah, we would do that, but we'd only go like 20 yards and jump back off.
And then jump back off, right. Yeah,
Okay, Richie, did you meet any hobos? Or, like, is that real?
Yeah, the stick with the handkerchief tied at the end.
Somebody was just, like, asleep under the straw, and then you jump on that car, and all of a sudden some guy sits up.
Did some kid forget to jump off, and then you found out in adulthood that he actually joined the circus because he was just lost forever?
Exactly.
Good one, Richie. I like it. 800-821-9970. It's 99.7 The Blitz.
And now, all right, I'm listening. 3 things you need to know before you go.
Sentencing in about an hour and a half for the truck driver found guilty of triggering that fatal chain reaction crash on I-70 with a charter bus carrying Tuscarawas Valley High School band students. Jacob McDonald faces a maximum sentence of 18 months. He was found guilty of 6 misdemeanor counts of vehicular homicide and not guilty of felony aggravated vehicular homicide. According to the police incident report, McDonald was driving his semi at 70 miles per hour and did not slow down when he drove over a vehicle and slammed into the back of the bus. 3 adults in the vehicle were killed. 3 students on the bus were killed. McDonald was not under the influence, and the judge said there was a lack of cell phone data to show whether he was on his phone at the time, so he was found guilty of 6 misdemeanors. The jury is expected to get the case today in Sean Diddy Combs' racketeering and sex trafficking trial. Both the prosecution and the defense wrapped up their cases last week. Prosecutors told the jury that Combs committed multiple crimes over years and was able to get away with it through fear and violence. Combs' attorney countered by saying prosecutors were overzealous and that their client was only guilty of having a swinger lifestyle and using recreational drugs. Okay. Yeah. Anywho, a big power outage at Cedar Point Saturday night. A driver hit a utility pole on Cedar Point Road, knocked out power to the entire park. Everything ground to a halt at 8 p.m. People stuck on rides, etc. Power was not restored until just before 10 p.m. and the park closes at 10. So they're like, bye.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Kind of like you. Not as bad, though.
Right.
At Zumbizi Bay, you were there, what?
Not even 2 hours.
Not even 2
when
hours.
The thunderstorm rolled in.
That's an expensive ticket.
$100?
Yeah.
50 bucks a piece for those tickets.
It's a lot. And, it's expensive to get into Cedar Point. So that happened. People lost the last 2 hours of their time there at Cedar Point on Saturday. But in a whole other issue in the afternoon, Cedar Point's new ride, Siren's Curse, opened up on Saturday. And on the top of the first hill, and if you've probably seen videos, but you get tilted down into a face-down position, and you're not on a track at that point. The back of the car is on a track.
It's a piece of track.
Oh,
that
look at
it's a piece of track.
Straight down.
But you're tilted, and you're not yet connected to the lower track.
Correct.
And you're just hanging there for a few moments before
pointing straight down yes.
before you're dropped. And for one group of riders, it became stuck in that tilted position for about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Like, you're thinking after the first minute, you're like, this is way too long.
You literally just used the exact same words I said last night to Nora as we saw the video, and I was like, the point of the ride is that anticipation.
Yes.
You're waiting to drop.
Yes.
You're waiting to drop. And then I said, 60 seconds, you're like, man, we're kind of hanging up here kind of long. And then about 3-4 minutes passes, you're like, Okay, wait a minute.
Well, and for whatever reason, the emergency system was in place and it stopped the ride.
Yeah.
But then it let it go, and all those riders went ahead and finished the ride. And that whole time, I'm thinking I'm just waiting for a final destination. We're gonna fly off the track, and that's it for all of us. They ended up shutting the ride down for about 30 minutes to make sure everything was good, and then reopened it again for the rest of the day. But I guess the wait time for Siren's Curse, like once you get to the turnstile, what's that system called where you're going back and forth in the line?
The dumbest thing ever.
Yeah. Oh, is it the dumbest thing ever?
That's what I call it.
Okay.
Hey, well, for long lines, I get it. I just hate the places that have those, but don't have the emergency walk. Like the movie theater does it a lot. When you go to the concession stand and they've got
Yes, you're right.
What stanchions? They've got the stanchions all set up, and you're like, "There's nobody here. Just open up the straight line." Don't make me look like a fool in front of all the employees. Yes!
Weaving around that thing.
I'll be there in a second. I'm coming. All right. Here I come. I'm coming. And I'll be back again.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
So dumb. I think they do it on purpose.
Well, this thing was packed with people, and once you hit that part where you're going weaving back and forth, it's a 2-hour wait at that point, and the line was way back from that.
Oh, man.
That's your whole day at the park waiting to ride this one ride. So I guess maybe it would be worth it if you had season passes, but...
I just watched the POV video, and it looked all right. It was 1 minute.
Yeah.
The ride looks fun.
1 minute, a 3-hour wait for a 1 minute ride.
It didn't. It looks like a decent roller coaster. I don't think I'd wait that long to ride it.
I don't think I can do it anymore. I remember my teenage years and my 20s. A trip or two to Cedar Point was a given if you live in this area, and we used to have the blast in the lines. We used to dance, there was a time where they did DJ. They had DJs that would play, or we would get one of those beach balls and start hitting around. We would start the wave, all kinds of things. Nowadays, I'm not waiting 2.5 hours to ride a 90-second roller coaster.
Yeah.
That's where you go on a weekday in late August.
Yep.
Right. All right, those are your 3 things.
I think besides AI and Chat GPT, which come up at least a few times a week on the show because something is happening with it, just below that, the other thing we talk a lot about are these glucagon-like peptides, GLP-1s. The Ozempics, if you will.
Yeah.
The Wegovy's. And all the other weight loss drugs that people are taking nowadays that have taken up. Because, we've talked about the weight loss aspect of it, but we've also talked about the other side effects they're seeing. They're seeing it help with addictions to smoking. We have seen it is helping Alzheimer patients with memory loss and things like that. It was just a week and a half or 2 weeks ago that they saw an explosion in sales because they saw men gain an inch or so in their pelvic region, which, come to find out, was only because of fat loss.
Right.
So now you just have more junk showing. You've got less of the pelvic pudding in the area, so it just kind of it looks bigger. So now there's a new what? You know what I'm talking about?
I do, but it's just a phrase. I know there's the greatest phrase ever.
That whole area that just gets it's like a puffer fish, and then it just and then it's like, wait, no, go back down, stop. Anyways, a lot of people are now very mad because it has become such a popular drug. The price has also gone up. And a lot of people are not happy at the fact that these are expensive drugs because it has become such a useful product that people want to get their hands on it. Well, now Yes, please.
Is it covered by insurance? Do
No.
you know? I
Nope.
don't. Okay, it's like $500 a month or something.
Yes, it's a lot.
Nuts.
It is a lot. And there are places that these compound pharmacies where they can make it for you, but those are still not cheap. And now people are going to what they're calling the gray market. They have seen an increase in people who are now ordering the GLP-1 product basically from China and then making it themselves.
Okay, so it's like the crack of cocaine.
Yes, kind
Just
of.
doing a big knockoff yourself. You're just concocting it in your own basement.
People are taking other weight loss drugs and mixing it with the GLP-1 to then take it at home. And cannot say this enough. Don't do that. There are people that spend years in school to learn chemistry and biology and all the other things you need to mix drugs together.
By all means, order your own stuff from China and crush up some
whatever.
allergy medication.
Yes.
Mix it all together and...
Who's got the balls to do that? I don't understand. There's no way I'm taking miscellaneous medical products and then mixing them together on my own and then inserting them into my own body.
I feel like it's the same guy who's bagging up oregano and selling it to you as weed. They're like, hey, I can do that with these GLP-1s.
I mean, I guess I'm not surprised because we've had stories of people who go to apartments to get root canals and things.
Right.
Like, I get you want to save money. Come on.
I remember high school, man, and we had stuff, it was called Speed, a.k.a. diet pills.
Pills, right.
And they just curbed your appetite.
Right.
And they were a hell of a lot cheaper than Ozempic.
Remember AIDS? The diet, chewable diet pills called AIDS?
Yeah.
AIDS. Yeah,
Yeah.
What a name.
Right.
It was before, obviously, the AIDS epidemic.
Yeah.
But that's what they used to sell as a weight loss.
We had the
type
357
thing.
Magnums.
Which is really interesting because you could lose weight through AIDS or through AIDS. Like, either way, you're losing weight. So anyways, as the article states, we'll just put it out there in case you didn't know already. Don't make your own medicine at home. That is not the route to go. It's your PSA for the day. 99.7 The Blitz.
Not so breaking news. The news already broke. We're trying to put it back together.
I don't know how I would feel about this. I mean, utter heartbreak for sure. But thousands of Norwegians now have to accept the fact and come back to reality that they did not win. What was the sum? I want to find the right sum. Oh, they did not win $187,000 in a lottery. No. They won $18.70. Apparently, there was a giant mistake where several thousand customers of the Euro jackpot in Norway received a notice that they had won $187,000. However, due to a technical difficulty, that is not what actually happened. There was a misplaced decimal point.
Oh.
So they were told that they were winning, 1,000 times more than they really were? 10,000 times more than they really were? No. Each of them won $18.70 in this big drawing. There's also questions as to how did this happen where so many people won this amount. So they're looking into that as well. But
how many people already had driven their dream car? You already did the test drive. You knew that money's on the way, and you're like, I'm going out to the dealership today.
God, it would be so upsetting to have that taken from you. Now, I do know there are people that are like, well, I never had it to begin with, so how am I upset about it? But to have it dangled in front of you,
I'd be so bummed.
To get the information that you've won, yeah, mentally, you're spending that money. You know that you're gaining some financial freedom. You're paying off bills. You're taking that trip. You're getting that car you always wanted.
Maybe quit your job.
I mean, $187,000. That's not exactly life-changing money.
Really.
I mean, it's life-changing, but it's not set up for the rest of life money. So that is very, very unfortunate. Our second story takes us to overseas to Denmark, where a gentleman always wanted to get his family's mantra tattooed on his arm. His family's mantra, I'm not even going to try and pronounce the word. I'm just going to tell you it's spelled YMMTRA. L-A-E-N. And it means forward. His family mantra was, this constant want to move forward. Absolutely unbelievable. However, this young gentleman, whose name is Kai, does not speak the Welsh language. So he didn't really know how to double. Although I would assume if it's your family crest or your family motto, it would have been written out somewhere. Nonetheless, he didn't double check before he got it permanently tattooed on his arm. And instead of spelling it Y-M-L-A-E-N, he now has a giant tattoo that says Y-M-A-E-L-N, having the letters in the completely wrong place.
Hey, those are cool tats, man.
Oh, for real. Thank you, bro. You see the Cobra?
Hey, what is this one?
Oh, this? That's my credo. No regrets.
Mm-hmm. You have no regrets?
Dad?
No? Like not even a single letter?
No way. Not me.
No regrets whatsoever. I have wanted to for a very long time. And maybe we can put this out there. I would love to get someone, maybe from like the OSU language department, someone who speaks or can write in Japanese, because I would love...
Oh, yeah.
I've never really gotten my tattoos double checked because... There was a time many, many, many years ago I was very much into Taoism and Asian culture. I did martial arts for a little bit. So I do have some of the kanji tattoos. One on my wrist, which is supposed to mean laughter. The sounds of laugh is how that's written out.
I think it means fart, though, what you got.
You think so?
I think.
The one down my arm is called the 8 virtues: tranquility, grace, compassion, forgiveness, peace, wisdom, honor, love. I've got the 8 kanji symbols going down my arm.
That one says farting, farted. Wow. Fartalicious and fartwad. I don't know what that means.
Fartwad, yeah. Which is interesting because I was going for the villain prince in the Shrek movie Farquaad, but it came out Fartwad instead.
Yeah, well, it's okay though. That's a good story behind it.
I would love to get someone in here who knows
Japanese.
Japanese, kanji.
Okay.
And see if they could decipher and make sure I got the right thing. Because I do have a thought that maybe it says number 12 sweet and sour chicken running down my arm.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you want to get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather, now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
You don't want to end up like Kai.
I do not. I absolutely do not. That's your not so breaking news. 99.7 The Blitz.
I'm Kai.
I'm tired of your goddamn rock and roll, anything goes lifestyle.
This is your Blitz Rock Rundown, the Monday morning edition.
Rock and roll! What's up, Tess?
Hi, good morning.
How are you?
I'm all right. How are you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. It's a Monday morning. You got some info for us?
I sure do.
Oh, let's find out what you have to say.
All right, let's start with Papa Roach.
Watch out, you're in the zone now. Watch out.
Jacoby Shaddix said that they have about 6 songs finished up for their next album, and they just dropped one of them featuring Toby Morse, frontman of the hardcore punk band H2O. It's called Brain Dead.
Now, why are they doing a different... Is he just, like, added to the song? Like, what?
What do you mean?
Am I missing something here? Why
like
do they
have
a
featuring?
Yeah, it's just a feature?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. I mean, I was just trying to figure out why they wouldn't just put out the song themselves. I guess a lot of artists are releasing
just a collaboration.
Songs. A collaboration, yeah. Okay.
Papa Roach and Rise Against are teaming up for the Ride Roach Tour, featuring Under Oath, celebrating the 25th anniversaries of Papa Roach's Infest and Rise Against's debut EP, Transistor Revolt. And the tour is coming to PNC Pavilion in Cincinnati Tuesday, September 23rd.
Cool.
Wolfgang Van Halen. He had to back out of the final Ozzy Sabbath show because Mammoth is opening for Creed. And the tour starts the very next day. He said he's bummed, but he's going to watch the live stream instead. Creed's Summer of 99 tour coming to the Shot on July 20th, and it's sold out. And not just that show, the entire tour is sold out.
Wow, really?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I never thought I'd see the day.
Who else was with him?
Daughtry.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was supposed to be Three Doors Down, but Brad Arnold got diagnosed with cancer, so he had to drop out of the tour. Well, Three Doors Down did. All right, let's talk
I would go see that show. I mean,
I'd go.
Yeah, I
sure.
would. I mean, Daughtry I've always liked, especially now. We had talked about this before. Him kind of going the rock route now that he's out of his old American Idol contracts and things like that he did back in the day. I think this would be a good show.
Yeah. I'm really bummed, though. I would love to see Three Doors Down. I've never seen him before. All right, let's talk about Manson now. A British politician is trying to shut down his show in Brighton, England. He's supposed to kick it off, his European tour there on October 29th. But this politician sent out a letter to the city officials basically saying, yeah, no, let's not do that. She pointed out all the allegations of sexual assault and grooming and the domestic violence against him, even though he's not facing criminal charges because it's past the statute of limitations. She's like, we have policies to block this if we want to. And I haven't heard anything about Manson and his team commenting.
I thought I read it was canceled.
Yeah. That's look right here.
Like it happened, like the news came out
happened.
overnight last night.
It did get canceled.
Just happened.
Yeah. In fact, they all got messages from Ticketmaster saying this event has been canceled.
I want to know what he's saying about it, or his camp.
I don't know, man.
Oh, that's insane.
He hasn't been convicted of anything, so.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Billy Joe Armstrong of Green Day. He got really mad at a fan for shooting him with a squirt gun at Hurricane Festival in Germany. A fan posted a video of it on TikTok. He takes off his guitar, bends over, and starts yelling at the guy. And you can read his lips. He says, "You better effing quit or I'll beat your ass. You understand me? F you, all right?" And then he gives him a big thumbs up and goes right back into the song.
Over a squirt gun?
Well, I guess people on Reddit who were actually there said that this guy was squirting him the entire show. So he'd had enough.
All right, I guess if you have enough.
He's playing guitar and trying to sing songs, man.
Well, did he say, "Nobody messes with the dew"? You know, the Ace Ventura.
Oh, yes.
Well, Billy Joe Armstrong looks like he takes some time with that hair. So.
Yeah. You don't want to mess that up.
No.
You can see the video at theblitz.com. Oh, also, they had to postpone the show for a while because of the weather. So he's probably tired, too. They went way past their set time.
Just kind of already over everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. And finally, the dates for Sonic Temple 2026 just dropped. May 14th through May 17th at historic Cruise Stadium. Early bird pre-sale starts next month with more details coming soon. And you can get first dibs on pre-sale and info on all things Sonic if you sign up for their text alerts at sonictemplefestival.com. Now, as far as the lineup, headliners usually drop 3 to 6 months after the dates are announced, so we're probably looking at somewhere between late September and December. Hopefully, fingers crossed. We'll see. That's your Blitz Rock Rundown.
It's the Morning Blitz with Goose, Kelly, and Thick.
The time is gone. It's the time. Time after time. Good times. Big time. Let's lose and won again.
All right, here we go. Adam Sandler tickets up for grabs. Nationwide Arena, October 15th. Tickets on sale at Ticketmaster.com. But we would love to send you for free. 800-821-9970. Very simple. Thick has compiled a audio montage for us. It includes clips of could be anything. TV, movies, music, commercials, news stories, public service announcements. Could be anything. The only thing is all of the clips come from 1 year. So once we hear the montage, we're all going to take a guess. The person closest to the year is going to win. Hopefully that's you. Goose, Kelly versus you right now, 800-821-9970. Blitz, good morning. Hi, who's this?
Commercials, news.
Hello?
Yo.
Hey, can you turn your radio down for me?
Okay.
There we go. Who's this?
Jeff Caldwell.
Jeff. All right, Jeff. We are going to play the Time Warp. We've got the audio clip ready to go. Take a listen, then we'll give you your choice if you want to go first or last, guessing the year as to which all of these clips took place. Thick, are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. Let's get that Time Warp clip.
You want a match? My face in your ass. How about that, friend?
And it's been a while since I first saw you.
Oh, I don't know what that last one is. I don't have any idea.
I think I do, and I shouldn't.
Well, it's iconic.
Wait, now I think I'm wrong. Darn it. No, I'm not. I know I'm not wrong. It's iconic to you, Thick. All right. 800. I'm sorry. Jeff, do you want to go first or last on the guess as to which year all those clips took place? Last. All right. So, I'll go first this time. Got to be Joe Dirt. It's been a while, and that's got to be the countdown clock from 24.
Correct.
Yeah. But when did that all take place? I don't have a clue.
I don't either. I can't even get a good guess. So this is going to be fun.
I mean, it's been a while is the song, but it's also been a while since 24 has been on TV.
That would be the year it debuted.
Right. And it ran for a couple seasons, not many, but it ran for a couple seasons.
Like 10.
Yeah, it ran for 10 seasons.
Dude, yeah. Yeah, it had like 8, and then it came back again. And...
Oh, all right. I didn't know that. All right. And then Joe, it's got to be the late to, I'm going 2007. I'm going 2007.
The only one I can remember watching is Joe Dirt, but I am befuddled as to when that was. It could have been 1990. It could have been 2020. No, it wasn't 2020. I'm going to say 2010. That's my guess. I'm telling you, I really cannot narrow down a time frame.
I was going to go closer to that, but then I backed up a little bit. All right, Jeff, wide window here. Joe Dirt, it's been a while. 24. I say 2007. Kelly says 2010. Do you have a guess, Jeff? Jeff, are you there?
2008.
That's 2008.
Split the difference.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I'm assuming we got all 3 clues.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Joe Dirt, It's Been a While by Stained, and
Right.
the TV show 24.
Yeah.
The big thing about 24 that kind of blew everybody away was the fact that it was one of those things that came out, and you're like, how did this come out at the exact same time that something like this happened? You know, they wrote this story and then made this show, and then this happened. You know, the show opens, it's terrorism attack.
Right.
Joe Dirt, It's Been a While, and 24 all came out in 2001.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, we were so far off.
So, like, right after 9/11.
Wow.
And it just was like, it blew everybody away. Couldn't believe it. Like, how did they do this? And it was like, you know, what the show was all about.
You're going to stand there owning a fireworks stand, tell me you don't have no whistling bungholes, no sleeve splitters, whisker biscuits, honky lighters, hoosker doos, hoosker don'ts, cherry bombs, nipsy daisers, with or without the scooter stick, or one single whistling kitty chaser?
Wow.
Well, unfortunately, we all failed miserably. But because we all failed so miserably, Jeff, we'll give you the tickets anyways, okay?
Ah, cool.
Yeah, you're going to be there checking out Adam Sandler at Nationwide Arena Wednesday, October 15th. Mark your calendar now. Congratulations, man. You hang on one second.
Is there ever a time where nobody got the year right? Usually at least one of you get it.
Yeah, usually one do. Or at least.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
He's not this far off.
Yeah, you were way off.
Man. All right, 997 The Blitz.
And now, all right, I'm listening. The 3 things you need to know before you go.
Well, setup is already underway for Thursday's Red, White, and Boom. Some road closures are in effect now. Fences are up around the parks along the downtown riverfront. You are allowed to start claiming your spots for the show after 6 p.m. Wednesday. Which means I guess you're just going to be there for all in the overnight hours. I don't know if you leave your stuff. They said you're not allowed to stake anything. Like you can't put up a tent and leave, whatever. But
so then how do you set up your spot?
I'm not sure if you just put your chairs up and then take off and hope nobody takes your chair.
But isn't that staking your spot?
Oh, I mean stake anything to the ground.
Oh, stake, like literally staking it. Oh, okay,
Literally
gotcha.
stake it.
Gotcha,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. You can stake a claim, but you can't stake a tent.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know why. I'm curious, but whatever. I don't know. Do people just, for those of you who do want to get your spots early on a Wednesday at 6 p.m.
But have you done it
Are
before?
you spending the night there?
Yeah, have you done it before? Is people cool? Do they leave everybody's stuff alone?
Because
If
like
you
at
just
Upper
put it-
Arlington, Upper Arlington just sets their chairs up and then they go home.
Yeah, they tie a rope around them.
Yeah.
And they'll be out there for 8, 10, 12 days.
Yeah.
That stuff. Nobody messes with it.
I'm just curious about Red, White, and Boom if you just like put up in a chair.
I would have no idea because I would never do that in a million years.
No. I mean, is there really a better spot, one better than the other?
Right, that's
when
the
you're
other
done?
thing. It's the fireworks. You're all going to be tilted
We're all
back
looking
looking up. Like, what?
Right.
I suppose you could get a bad spot, but it'd be kind of hard.
Behind a tree somewhere? I don't know.
Well, they've got me inside this building, and I can't see the fireworks.
Right.
The only
I see
thing
people pull off the freeway and sit there and watch
they do.
them.
Right there at 670, then people
Yeah.
pull. It's crazy.
Mm.
All right. Ohio lawmakers are pushing pause on making any changes to the state's marijuana law. The state Senate okayed these changes back in February, but right now the bill sits with the Ohio House Judiciary Committee. Last week, this bill was removed from the committee agenda. They're like, nope, we're not talking about it. And then this week, it was the only thing on the agenda, and the committee meeting was completely canceled.
How about that?
So they just don't want to mess with this right now. They're going. They don't reconvene until mid-September. So for now, we're just gonna let it ride as is.
If polls are telling them this isn't good for votes.
Well, yeah, it's not good for votes because
No.
it was pretty overwhelmingly sound, citizen initiative that passed.
It's
so.
what Ohio voted for. They knew what they were voting for, and then you're going to tell them, well, we're going to change it. Well, why? This is what they voted for.
Yeah. It's like the worst HOA, you know?
Yeah.
It's like,
Exactly.
oh gosh, we elected you even.
Yeah.
A dramatic rescue after a child fell overboard off a Disney Cruise Line ship that was returning to Fort Lauderdale, and her father jumped in after her. The girl went overboard yesterday from deck 4. Does that mean 4 stories up?
I think so.
Okay, so she was on deck 4. She went overboard. This was on the Disney Dream. It was between the Bahamas and South Florida. Her dad jumped in after her, and then an emergency alert sounded on the ship. Crew immediately threw in life preservers and launched rescue boats. And there is a TikTok video that's showing the father treading water with his daughter in his arms. He hands her over to rescue crew, and then he got in the boat as well. So they're both okay. But the ship does have plexiglass safety barriers on all of its decks. So they're trying to figure out how did this kid
Crawl
overboard?
up, like try and get a better view.
Being held up there. Who knows? I don't know. But thank goodness for both of them. That turned out okay, and they're both going to be just fine. All right, those are your 3 things.
Well, I know we've talked about it before. There was a slide that was opened up in Detroit a couple years ago. It had been open for a while and shut down. They redid it, opened it up. Everyone was excited, but it was only open for a few hours as people were coming down this slide at high rates of speed. And it was one of those slides that had undulation. I don't know how to describe it, but dips, if you will. And people were flying off the dips and just bouncing on this thing. So they finally shut it down and had to re-engineer it. Well, the same thing just happened at Mount Sarakura in Katsiushu in Thailand. A popular night spot built a 30-meter slide at the top of the mountain for people to have fun on. However, after a bunch of people broke bones, they said, we should probably shut this thing down. However, it took them about a month and half a dozen injuries, including a broken shin, a broken arm, and a 2-year-old that was injured after her dad tried to hold her on the slide and they went down at too high rate of a speed.
Oh, my God.
2-year-old's okay, but that was kind of the final straw where they finally had to shut the thing down to rework it. You would figure, as engineers that build these kinds of things, test runs, crash test dummies. I mean, for even roller coasters, they put on the scientific crash test dummies to measure the G-forces and how it affects people and what's going to happen in the turn or the drop. You figured they would do the same thing for a 30-meter slide.
Right? No.
Going at that fast of a speed. If you've got people breaking their arms, you know that they had an idea that it was just a bit too fast. And they're like, well, let's just see what happens.
Right.
We'll just open it anyways. Someone broke their arm? It was a fluke, maybe. Oh, wait, we got a broken shin? They probably didn't keep their arms and hands inside at all times.
They were goofing around.
Yeah, something was wrong. Oh, wait, 2 more. Yeah, okay, we should probably rework this thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still want to go on it. Sounds like an absolute blast. But you got to do a little bit more research before you open things like this up.
Jeez.
Although, would you be like the first person to ride like a new roller coaster? Like you're in the first group of people, first humans sitting in the seat. You've seen it go through its test runs.
Yeah, I think I would.
You're the first person on it.
Yeah.
I think I would. I
love roller coasters, man.
Yeah, I think I would too.
And I gotta believe it's ready. I mean, how many test runs that thing has made?
You would hope.
Yeah.
You would hope. That's all I'm saying. It's 99.7 The Blitz.
Now, let's see if we can learn you something. Sit up and pay attention.
Yeah, let's learn you some stuff on a Monday morning. Make you a little bit smarter than you were when you woke up today. Replenish some of those brain cells you lost over the weekend. Rhode Island is the smallest state, but it technically has a longer name than you think. The official name is actually State of Rhode Island, which is 18 letters. But the longest full state name, you want to take a guess?
In the United States.
Mm-hmm. The longest full state name. Like, the state of Rhode Island is technically the full name of Rhode Island.
Okay. Is it Mississippi?
No, it is the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
Oh, okay.
27 letters. Commonwealth of Massachusetts. We're actually in a tie for the shortest. There's a three-way tie. between
Iowa, Ohio, and Utah.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. 3 shortest names. Horses can't breathe through their mouth. They can only breathe through their nose.
Okay. Maybe that's why they can run so fast so long.
Maybe. But wouldn't you figure you could run faster if you could breathe through your mouth and nose, I would think.
I don't know.
And where does the mouth go? Like ours, the back of the nose goes right down the back of your throat. It's connected. So where does their nose?
Well, so their nose, that goes to their lungs, but the mouth doesn't.
They do not have the
separate
ability
from that throat.
Right. They don't have the ability to slurp a spaghetti noodle up their nose and pull it out their mouth and go.
Ha-ha. Don't have that talent.
They do not. Guinness officially says their beer isn't black. It's dark ruby red. Looks pretty black to me.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a dark colored beer for sure.
That's it.
That's the fun fact. It's dark ruby red.
Okay.
So if you're a beer snob, you could be that guy at the bar. Did you know that Guinness isn't black? It's actually dark ruby red.
You go up to the bartender. I'd like a Guinness dark ruby red, please.
The first time snowflake was used in its current form to describe someone sensitive, fragile, or needing to be coddled was in a very popular movie. Do you remember what movie it was?
Oh, Lord, I have no idea. I'll probably remember when you say it.
Fight Club.
Oh, yeah. That was the first time?
Yeah. It had been used as a slang term before that, but not in this particular way.
Oh, okay.
So, And finally, there is only one known animal that lays eggs and produces milk. Do you know what animal that is, Thick?
Ostrich?
No.
No clue.
It's the funniest animal you can think of.
Dodo bird.
Oh, really? I think it's even funnier than that, though.
The funniest animal?
Uh-huh.
A hyena?
No.
I don't know.
Platypus. I mean, what the hell is that thing?
I don't know, but Robin Williams did a whole bit on it where he was saying, if you were God, I mean, you know God has a sense of humor and he gets stoned. All you have to do is look at the platypus. He said, let's take a beaver and put a duck's bill on it. Yeah. What the hell? I'm God.
That's right. The only animal that can lay eggs and produce milk, which basically means it is the only animal that can make its own creme brulee.
Wait a minute, is that a gummy thought? Or is that...
Right, yeah. So wait a minute. If a platypus can lay its own eggs and produce its own milk.
Right.
Basically the platypus is the Swedish chef of the animal kingdom.
Right.
Yeah. Learning some stuff on a Monday morning.
having a life scholarship and being able to afford to go to college made me feel inspired to go.
When I got a life scholarship, it was such a relief.
I knew that I wanted to have an impact. Having a life scholarship through the SC Education Lottery was huge. It gave me the opportunity to make that impact right here at home.
The South Carolina Education Lottery. A better you, a better us, a better South Carolina. Visit sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
Bubba Wallace here from 2311 Racing. Funny thing about being fast, you end up waiting a lot. First to show up, first in line, then just waiting. Me, I rev up Chumba Casino. With over 200 social casino games, no slow lanes here. Why sit around when you can spin? I'm already racing. Your turn. Play for free at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.